Welcome to the Gray Line Podcast, where things are not always black and white. They're gray.
We live in the gray. That's right.
You like my gray? Wearing gray turban. Got my gray turban. Got my gray shirt.
You're
Abeerah brought her
dedicated,
gray turban. I mean hijab.
committed.
Yeah. So last time I was giving Ice the benefit of doubt,
Oh, yes, you were.
and
How do you
I
feel
mean
today,
it's
sir?
it's gray line for a reason,
Yeah.
like it's
Is it still gray?
maybe they have their reasons.
Yeah, $17,000.
Sign-on bonus.
No, it's per
47 days
person
in
they
training.
take, right? I thought they get like $17,000 per person they capture.
Oh, I didn't hear about that.
I didn't hear that it was commissioned. I just heard about the sign-on bonus.
Everything Lana says I got to put through ChatGPT.
Not me getting fact checked. I'm
No.
always the fact checker.
So I think what you're referring to is their fat bonus plus their fat ass salary, right?
Yeah,
Is that what you're talking about? No?
Me?
Well,
No.
it's honestly a little bit confusing because I've heard some stories and some people say like $200,000 salary. They're all pretty damn uneducated. I mean, let's just call it what it is, right? Like when you hear them talk, like these are like your January 6th Capitol stormers that just happen to get, a fucking job by the president. I mean, that's how they act, they sound.
They got a
They're
presidential pardon.
barbaric, you know?
Did
But
you hear that they only have 47 days of training now in ode to the 47th president?
Are you serious?
Fact check it. It's real. It's a real thing.
that is
Not only
crazy.
do they have the sign-on bonus, they get 47 days of training.
All right. Well, listen, forget all that. Forget all that. Assuming they got 100 days and they're getting an average salary and they're actually very well trained, you really believe the right now, bro? Tell me.
No,
After,
yeah, so that's what I was getting at. I mean,
yeah.
last time I was being pretty gray, just and trying to honor the podcast title or whatever. But man, after this last one, there's like a shade of gray. There's a shade of gray, and I'll talk about it, but it's pretty fucking black or white. Here's the shade of gray. I've watched that thing I don't know how many times from how many different angles, just obsessively. Like, and there's all kinds of feelings, but one thing I thought about was like the guy that came and took
His gun
his gun, right?
from his
Uh,
back.
Alex, say his name.
Alex Pretti.
Alex Parrott, right?
Fred.
Freddie.
Right. So when he came and took his gun, I think like less than a second later, that one guy who started the whole thing and pushed, the girl who Alex was trying to defend, less than a second later, that guy shot. So I don't know if like in the and this is where like lack of training comes into place, right? Because in the scuffle, I can see where he sees a gun and he like gets scared, pulls out his gun and
No,
shoots.
no, 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 no. He shot him with his own gun, with Alex's
No,
gun.
no,
No,
no. He didn't shoot with Alex's gun.
no.
No.
It was a completely different person. The guy who took his gun took off.
Ran, right.
There was
But the
another
Yeah.
guy behind him. He was wearing a
That shot him.
backpack.
right next to him. So
Shot him in the back of the head at point blank.
yeah,
Oh,
yeah.
dang.
They
So
mag dumped. Mag
so
dumped.
It
the
was hard
the
to
the
follow.
shade of gray is that if I see a gun, then if I'm not trained and if I'm not used to kind of this environment, I see a gun, I flip out, I bring out my gun, and I don't even think and I shoot. And then it's a domino. I shoot, ICE agent next to him, he's like, whoa, whoa. You could see like it was completely unexpected because a couple of ICE agents jumped back. They're like, whoa, who started shooting? And then the other ICE agent pulled out his gun and he started shooting.
No,
And then
but
it's
they
like
shot
stop,
him
stop, stop,
after
stop.
they removed his weapon. They shot him 11 times after they removed his weapon.
Right, but I guess what I'm saying is when his weapon was removed and the ICE agent ran away,
Yeah.
like no one knew that his weapon was gone. I don't think in that moment, right? So in that chaos, you just start shooting. But that's the issue. Lack of training in how to manage a chaotic situation like that. The first thing you do is not pull out your gun and start shooting people at point blank range, right? I think that's kind of what I'm trying to say. So intention, what I'm getting at is intention. Was it intentional kind of, you know what? we run these streets, boom, 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 or in the chaos and the lack of training, fearing for their life, they shoot, shoot, shoot. Either way, it's wrong. One is
Did you
lack of,
see the video of the one ICE agent that backed up and started clapping as soon as they started shooting
yes,
him?
I
I
saw
didn't
that,
see
and that
that or
really
the
So what does
ticked me
that
off.
say
boohoo.
about intent?
That really ticked me off.
I didn't see that. And I read something about someone saying boohoo, but I didn't
Yeah,
hear
I
that.
read about that too. But the clapping thing I saw, like, so as soon as like the third or fourth shots rang, this one ICE agent started backing up and it was like let's go type of thing, as if it's like,
Yeah.
yeah, we got him,
Oh,
which
shit.
is really fucked up. So anyway, like I said, it's like a hint of gray, maybe. It's pretty black and white that it was wrong all around. But again, it's like the whole Renee Good thing. I mean, it's like this trigger happiness, whether it's empowerment by the administration or just like really, really shitty training or what. But they are not law enforcement. That is not law enforcement.
Yeah.
That
I
is
think
just
it's
rogue people.
intentional. It's
Huh?
intentional. They're doing this and they're making an example out of these white people to show everybody else, look, if we're not afraid to shoot a white person, then we definitely aren't afraid to shoot a brown person or a black person. Like it's just setting that precedent, that tone that you need to fear us. The Gestapos are here.
It's
Yeah,
a
and where are all the Second Amendment people? So now you can't have a concealed carry because,
yeah,
like
dude.
what Shaz is saying about the chaos, like you see a gun, they start shooting.
So,
Where are all the
so you
concealed
know,
carry people?
I'm waiting for the Second Amendment folks to start saying something because with that kid Kyle, when he walked into some protest with an AR strapped to his chest,
Yes, yes.
right?
They called him a
Um,
hero.
they
Yeah,
called him a
so
hero,
Look at
I
this.
right?
brought that
Yeah.
Look
I
at
brought
this.
that up to the girl who was like, the ICU nurse who was against Alex Pretti, who's a far right Republican and like, pro gun, MAGA loving person. I asked her about Kyle, and she said he was protecting his friends' establishments from the looters. Like,
So
Look at that.
what is this?
Look at that.
Yeah.
yeah,
That's the
that's
first.
an execution.
Yeah,
It's
that's
from
the first and
behind.
second shot. I mean, look at that, dude. That is
Wow,
the
I didn't see
back of
that
the guy's head,
frame.
point blank.
Oh, that's
Yeah.
an execution because it's from behind.
And he
Like,
never pulled out his weapon from any of the
No,
video footage that I saw.
no, it
They
was
took it off
behind
of him
him.
after he was on the ground. And
Yeah.
since when does it take 8 men to restrain somebody?
I think what is more black and white than anything else for me, which is just like so blood boiling, is what's that guy's name? That Nazi czar main border patrol guy.
Oh, Bovino.
Yeah,
Oh yeah.
Bovino. Fucking like, he approached our men with a 9 millimeter gun. What the fuck are you talking? Like, look at the video. The guy has this hand up and this hand has an iPhone,
Mhm.
and the ICE agent is this close to his face.
Mhm.
Like, the fact that they think that we can't see and trying to gaslight what we see with our own eyes, or they think that people are just gonna like not look at the video and just take their word for it. Like, how moronic do you
No,
think
but
people are? You know?
do you see the precedent though? Like this has been happening for years. We saw George Floyd killed on camera. We saw Philando Castile killed on camera. This has been happening for so long. Like they've done this litmus test of where things are on video. They're able to gaslight you into believing something else. They'll say something like, "Oh, well, he had fentanyl in his system, or he had weed in his home," and then that just justifies it, right? And everybody kind of goes along with it. So that was the litmus test. Black and brown people have had this done to them for so many years, and now you're seeing murder on camera, and you're like, "All right, it's just another day in America."
They've been calling brown people terrorists, and that's how they've been justifying Iraq and Gaza and everything, right? That they do in the Middle East. And now, guess what? That imperial boomerang came back around us, and now they're calling the white citizens who they're shooting point blank in the head and face. What are they calling them? Domestic terrorists.
Because they're white on the wrong side. They don't fit their narrative. So now they're domestic terrorists. Yeah.
I was arguing. I thought it was a healthy debate, but it devolved into an argument with my friend from medical school or from residency, and this guy is just like, check this out. So, did you know that ICE has been arresting more people in states like Texas? Not nearly as many issues because our state is complying as we wish to aid and help in enforcing federal immigration law. Minnesota is in direct and open defiance of this, likely because Waltz and Frey have been caught in the midst of billions of dollars of fraud. So, so
Where's the
his
money?
argument is that all of these protests could be stopped in a moment if Waltz and Frey would simply allow ICE to do their job, but they won't because they want chaos and vigilantes on the street.
For what
Like,
reason?
like, I mean,
The Somalians? Is that the reason why? Or is it because of money laundering? Like, what's the reason?
Is this all because of Ilhan Omar? Like
That's
revenge?
the only other one?
why, yeah, like why Minnesota? Was it because of the fraud stuff? Like, why is there so much ICE people and stuff in Minnesota?
Probably because of Somalia. That's the Somalian claims, I mean.
Yeah, some people claim the Democratic governor, so it's more visible because, yeah, Texas has exponentially more arrests. We lead the country in ICE abductions, exponentially more. And, oh, yeah,
Which
exponentially,
surprised me.
thousands and thousands more.
I
Like the
was like,
margin
no
is
way.
crazy.
Yeah, I was
And you
like, no
don't
way.
hear about it because our governor cooperates, our county sheriff department operates. My county actually just announced last week that they would be fully cooperating with ICE. So it's not so much that it's just not visible. It's because our law enforcement does cooperate.
But what does it mean? I mean Minnesota's law, like law enforcement isn't even involved. I mean these people are literally going out and it just sounds like they're harassing Minnesotans like extra. I don't see any of this harassment
Yeah.
in Texas. Others don't hear about it,
Maybe because they think the citizens will are pushing back in Texas. I don't know, Shazza, your neighbor's gonna push back. Mine aren't. Maybe that's why, because it's more visible in Minnesota.
I mean, I think you guys personally know at least 3 people in ICE detention right now. You text
Yes,
me.
we do.
So
Mhm.
4, actually.
see, and I don't. So I guess that is true. Like, I mean, I know Yakub, free Yakub, by the way, but like I know of him, that's it. You know what I mean? But like I didn't realize that Texas was that bad. I was like, there's no way they would go hard in Texas because everyone's armed in Texas. So they don't want to mess around and find out with all those Texans who carry.
I think in Texas specifically, they're going after, at least in Dallas, they're going after more like pro-Palestinian activists as well. All 4 of the people I know that are detained are all loudly outspoken against the genocide, and so
What were
that's
their,
a factor.
what were their charges?
They don't even really have charges, to be honest with you. Like Yaqub, I think his charge was inciting violence because he said that Indigenous people everywhere had the right to defend themselves on social media, and so that was one of his charges. Like they've charged them with some of them they charged with sending money to Palestinian organizations, like the Holy Land Five thing. They had some vague, like they brought out some vague connection to that.
Yeah,
Just really vague, like ambiguous stuff that honestly, like, has no standing.
yeah.
And did you know that they work them there? It's like a slave shop, like work labor.
Yeah,
They
all
charge
of these
$1.
detention centers are for profit. They're all privately owned, majority of them.
So what do
Yeah,
they do? Do they like weave baskets or something? What are they doing?
I don't know exactly
Look,
what the
look,
labor is, but I mean, we
look at
know that
this.
the prison system in America is modern day slavery, mass incarceration. I mean, they make less than $1 a day. I think it's $5 to make a
to
phone
make a phone
call.
call.
Yeah.
Look at this. I'm gonna share my screen. God, I cannot just this guy pisses me off so much, bro. I was watching a Hitler documentary earlier today.
Oh no.
Uh,
Why would you
and
do that to yourself?
it's just so like the parallels are just so eerily like
That's
similar, you
scary
know?
because it's heading our
Like,
way.
yeah, I mean, it's just like, dude.
The Gestapos are here. And
It's
stop.
crazy though that people still can't make the connection.
I know. I keep trying to say it. Trump, did you hear how he told them, like, shoot people in the legs?
Every angle, sir, that he was approached by them when he was helping another individual who was pushed down. What evidence do you have that he was assaulting any law enforcement?
Dana, we don't need a suspect's help in an active law enforcement scene.
When you say
We don't need
suspect,
his
what
help.
is
We
he
didn't ask
suspected
his
of?
help. That's an active law enforcement scene. He knew that was an active law enforcement scene, especially when the officers approached him, and it's very evident he did not need to be where he was.
When somebody is pushed down and a person's instinct is to help that person, when somebody's pushed down by law enforcement, you're saying that You just stand back and let law enforcement do what they're doing?
You know, Dana, every situation is different. What our officers are faced with here in Minneapolis are chaotic, very difficult and violent situations in which individuals, and this suspect is not the only one to bring a loaded weapon to a riot. The situations are chaotic and ever changing. Follow directions for law enforcement. Don't inject yourself knowingly beforehand into a law enforcement situation.
With respect, it feels as though in some ways you're blaming the victim here.
The victims are the Border Patrol agents. I'm not blaming the Border Patrol agents. The victim are the Border Patrol agents. The suspect.
Dude,
I
like
could choke him right now.
the flipping of the narrative and just gaslighting, just blatant lying, dude. Like, what? The
I can't
victims are the
believe.
Border Patrol agents?
That's what he said, right?
Who
Yeah.
is gonna watch that video and be like, oh yeah, oh my God, those poor 8 Border Patrol agents that were getting ambushed by that one ICU nurse? Like who, like what kind of twisted thinking is that, dude?
But they're
Alex
also
did
not
not.
law enforcement. They're
Yeah.
freaking immigration capturers.
Which, by the way, this has nothing to do with immigration. It's all money related.
Yep.
ICE is a money-making scheme at the
Wait,
end.
wait, wait. Did you guys hear the latest? Did you guys hear the latest? President Trump, through Pam Bondi, sent a message to
Yeah,
the
yeah,
governor of Minnesota saying, hey, if you guys want ICE out,
yeah. Release the
turn
voting.
over all
Yeah,
of your voter logs.
Oh,
yeah.
yeah. Yeah. I did hear about that.
Bro,
That's
that's what this is
wild.
about. It's about control.
Manipulating elections.
Yeah,
Maybe that's why it's not as visible in Texas or these Republican states. Possible.
yeah. It makes complete sense, right?
Is that allowed? Is he allowed to do that?
I mean, that
Is
question.
anything allowed at this
That,
point? I
that
mean,
question
we've
is
kind of
like
crossed the boundaries
We
we've
got
of
four
what's
healthcare
allowed.
people here.
blown
We need a
past that
lawyer to
question.
answer that.
Yeah, I don't think it matters what's allowed or not anymore.
You know what I thought of? The fact that how many times I've been a street medic at these protests. I mean, that could have been literally any one of us or anybody with any level of conscience at a protest, at a riot, whatever, just walking down the street. If you see somebody being assaulted like that or pepper sprayed like that, it would be any of our instincts to go help them.
Yeah, 100%.
Like, I kind of want them to say it seems like anyone that gets killed in this murdered in this way, there's always like a narrative that they try to spin it, right? Like in a way that justifies their cause. I want to kind of hear from them. Well, when would it be wrong? Right? Like when would you actually say that yeah, my border patrol agents fucked up. They shouldn't have done that. Like what scenario,
What does it take?
like what does it take? Like okay, this guy, you know what? The other lady, she had a weapon. She had a car. Okay? All right, fine. You know what? But all right, we'll give it to you. This person had a loaded gun. Okay, well, there's something called the Second Amendment, but fine, we'll give it to you. Okay, he had a permit, lawful permit. But okay. Well, what would it take? Like a guy, just nothing on him. Like
Like
I
a
want to know what it would
5-year-old?
take. Get them to say it, and then watch, like, hold them accountable when that same scenario happens. Because it will. It's only a matter of time.
I don't think anything will do it because Lana just said we saw a 5-year-old be detained. I mean, they're going to come up with excuses. There's mental gymnastics that these people play if it doesn't fit their narrative because they've dehumanized these people to such an extent for so long that in their mind it's justified.
So it's
It's
actually
on the white
interesting.
people now to do something about this, right? It's on the white folks
Oh
to
yeah,
come out.
You would
100%.
think, man. You would think, like, and speaking of white people, the thing that's annoying me the most right now, like recently, like all these people all of a sudden coming out of the woodworks, like, end ICE occupation and all these posts, and I just want to just, it's great. Like, oh my God, you have such a heart. Well, where the f was this heart like 6 months ago or 10 months ago with the genocide? Where the f was your social media post, bitch? You know? Like, does it have
Yep.
to hit that close to home for you
Unfortunately, for
to
some.
do one little thing, which is share this post? Like, it pisses me off so much.
I'm gonna
That's
say
funny you said that because when I opened Instagram this morning, I had several nurses that I work with that posted about Alex being murdered. Rightfully so, right? Great, you have
Yeah.
empathy. Never said a word, never said a word, a single
Yeah.
word about the genocide the last 2.5, 3 years, despite like watching my stories, engaging with my posts, hearing about it at work.
Yeah.
And yeah, it's almost like this betrayal where you're like, okay, so your empathy is selective.
Yeah. It's selective. It's based on skin color.
Yep.
Right. And
White
it's
person hit close to home. Okay. Now you're
right. But
saying.
even with like the healthcare workers, like, okay, it's one thing to not talk about the genocide in Gaza because you don't want to get involved in the politics of it and whatever, but they were attacking hospital systems. And that's when you, as a healthcare worker, should have spoken out. Like, oh, hell no, you cannot bomb hospitals. Oh, hell no, you can't deliberately go shoot nurses and doctors point blank and then put them in torture camps. And that's when they should have been speaking out. I'll give them a pass for not talking about the other stuff. But with
Sure.
regards to healthcare, no.
But you know what? What the biggest thing that they don't understand is how everything that was happening abroad, every single person in this podcast and every other, humanitarian healthcare worker that we know, we all said if we don't fix this, we don't this Palestine, Gaza is a litmus test, right? For
Yep.
humanity. If we don't fix it, it will spill over borders. It will come into the United States. And now look, it's happening. And now where are they? Now you see them posting and talking about it and raising their arms. How many nursing agencies, right? You have Abeerah and Lana, you guys know this better than I do. You have American Heart, you have the ANA, AACN. You have multiple nursing agencies, right? And I'm pretty sure there's equal amount of
Medical.
or medical organizations for physicians. How many of them have come out saying anything about IDF, anything about IOF, anything about Gaza, anything about the
Not a single one.
nothing, nothing, not a single one.
No.
But today, the president of the medical union of wherever the hell she was from said
And
all
the
the
ANA.
physicians who
And the ANA released a statement.
well,
Yeah.
whoever it was, maybe it was just the one person, and I'm getting the agency mixed up. Either way, she got up there saying, now we have to stop. ICE is coming into our hospitals. They're abusing our patients, and they won't leave the room when we're doing either we're cleaning or we're exposing the patient or whatever have you. They're making life difficult for our staff. Like I said earlier, I said this to you guys 3 or 4 episodes ago. I said it's all about this.
You were right.
It's all about this. I
You
hate
were
to say
right.
it. I hate to say it, but if you ain't white, you ain't right.
Yep. That's the same dehumanization. I mean, they've been doing it to Muslims since post 9/11. And if you remember back when Black Lives Matter after George Floyd died, Black people in Minneapolis were saying the same thing. They were like, these surveillance tactics, these police tactics that they're using, they're getting from the IDF. Like they're literally going on field trips to Israel to learn how to police people. And the parallels have always been there, but people are still refusing to see it, even though we've seen it with our own eyes when we went there, right? But yeah, it's the parallels are not new, but people don't understand that what you allow to happen overseas is going to happen here. The same surveillance, drones, the same technology that they're using in Palestine and Gaza, they're using here.
Yeah.
Mm.
And
Remember those Mossad agents who went into the hospital disguised as like
women,
hijabbers?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's giving that.
they weren't Mossad. They were straight up IDF. They were
Well,
straight up IDF. They went into what hospital was that? Was that Aqsa? No, it wasn't Aqsa.
I thought
It
it
was it was,
was,
it was Ramadan.
oh,
Yeah, yeah. Bro, they went in just like Lana described. They were wearing hijabs and abayas and whatever, and they had long guns underneath their dresses, and they just took them on just point blank, man.
and there was
Crazy.
a teenager who was like in an ICU bed who was like sedated and they shot him.
Yeah.
Yeah. And so the
barbaric.
ice trickling into the hospitals is literally what has been happening in Gaza. And it's just going to get worse. Like right now, they're allowing them to inch their way in. They're allowing them into the patients' rooms while they're getting bed baths. What?
Yeah. Yeah.
You know what, though? There's so much misinformation and there's no education on the nurses' part, especially here in the South. Nurses love policing patients. All of these MAGA nurses, number
Where?
one, but number two, in Texas,
Mm.
they are, I don't know, they've been gaslit into this like one family, like, oh, back to blue, and first responders and cops, nurses, firefighters are all one family. There's so much gaslighting that happens here, and it's not even a question. A cop walks in, and immediately the nurse, they're like, oh yeah, that patient's in room 7. Go right ahead. They have no idea. Like they are violating HIPAA constantly. I see it every single day, especially in the burbs. constantly. It's just like there's zero information disseminated from hospital systems, and the fact of the matter is that a lot of these nurses like policing patients, so they let it happen. But yeah, they don't even know the basic right of the patient. Patients that are not in custody do not have to speak to any law enforcement, whether that's police, sheriff, anybody. And you have
Wait,
to
wait,
have that
wait.
patient's permission and consent to be in a treatment room.
Wait,
Yep.
the ICE people are going to hospitals?
Oh yeah, 100% they are.
Yeah.
It's
Remember we
happening
told you he
all
lives
over the
under a
country.
rock? I said, remember we told you he lives under a rock.
Yeah. It's
No,
happening all over the
no.
country.
I'm an ophthalmologist. I'm privileged from all these things, you
He
know?
zoned out for like 30 minutes.
Fair,
I'm in my bougie ass clinic, but wait,
fair.
in there's there's ICE people going to ERs?
Yeah,
Yes,
Yeah.
they've
yes,
been.
they have been. Because last year in January 2025, Trump released an executive order that said hospitals, places of worship are no longer protected areas. It gave them basically the ability to go to all of these areas that used to be protected.
So
So
you've
now the
seen
only place
this.
that's
You've seen this on your own shifts.
no, I have not personally seen it, but it's happening all across the country. It's happening in Dallas. It's not so much talked about when it's happening in Texas, but it's happening. Hasn't happened at my hospital yet,
What about
but
Zai?
it's
Have
happening.
you seen it?
I
Or
have not.
Lana, have you?
I'm in the OR. However, my coworker who works in the ER of my hospital has said, yes, ICE has come to our ER.
And you know what? Not the funny thing, the interesting thing is that when they do bring in their victims, they have injuries that are inconsistent with their reports. They say, "Oh no, he fell," but you
Mhm.
know, he has like his spine broken or some, weird like that, evidence of strangulation or something. But I'm gonna be very honest. I'm gonna be very honest. The way things are going, I really wonder. I really wonder. I want to see what you guys think. Where do you guys think this is going, or how does this stop?
World War III, bro. Right before World War II, Hitler was doing the same shit, and then World War III happened. Can you imagine how much you gotta hate a guy to be like, you know what? Okay, let's the whole world, let's go to war. Like, and that's exactly what's happening with Trump.
Uh,
I really think so. I mean, I'm not like a fear monger type of person, but I mean, if this is not civil war, dude, look at Minnesota. If this is not civil war,
Civil
what
War
is
is
it?
not World War III. That's two different
Right,
things.
right. But that's it. We are encroaching, and kind of like one of the things that he's doing is intra-country fighting,
Yeah,
right? Like one
the
against
Civil
another,
War.
pitting us against each other. And the other thing is like, dude, going into random ass countries and picking up their presidents is like not helping the situation. You're gonna go into the wrong fucking country one day, and then you find out, right? This is like classic around and find out type of shit. Like seriously, it's like yes, we're strong as America. We have all this firepower and stuff like that, but don't forget China and don't forget Russia, and don't forget India. All it
But
takes
I
is
think
all
we're
those
getting
three
played.
countries to come together and be like, you know what? I think America's had it. You know what? F it. Let's go, guys.
No,
That's
I
it.
think we're getting
No, or
played.
are all the elites in the background just making deals and we are the ones that are, you
Yes,
know what I mean?
we are getting
Like,
played. Girl, China and Russia is actually in alignment with America. Like low key, like they're
I
working
don't.
together. No, trust me.
You could
We're
say
getting
the
played.
billionaires. You could say the
Yes,
billionaires are in alignment with each other,
right.
but I don't.
No, I'm talking about
No,
the leaders.
like China and America have always been at odds.
So they want us to believe.
You don't think so?
No, I think we're getting played.
Okay.
I just feel like they keep, throwing these empty threats, China and Russia, right? They never do anything. They're all benefiting from whatever we do. We are selling our oil that we just got from confiscated from Venezuela now to China. Like it's all just a big plan from the top. Like they're working with each other and we're just getting played.
I don't know if I believe that.
Yeah, it just seems like a very simplistic answer.
Then why them how come they keep throwing empty threats and never doing anything about it?
Like what? Which empty threat?
China and Russia.
Which
Remember, they were like, oh, if you guys go to Gaza, we're going to bomb you or we're going to interfere. We're
Well,
going to send our
because it's
warships.
America, because the almighty dollar. I mean, like America is a superpower for a reason, right? The dollar is strong across the world, and like you can't take the thing down that is in part sustaining your own country's economy. It's
Yeah,
just
but
not
aren't
that
how many
easy.
countries are part of BRICS now? More than 13 now. So like,
Yeah, but
is
still,
the dollar that?
the dollar still trumps, I think.
Yeah, they're still not trading outside the dollar yet. That's the plan, but they're not doing it yet.
Follow the money.
Yeah.
Always follow the money. I mean, so that's I think we touched on it last time towards the end of our podcast. What is it going to take for the dollar to fall? Right? If the dollar falls, that's the big domino effect, I think.
I
But that
think the
gets into more
dollar,
like,
I think the dollar is very closely related to the resources. If the resources are kept and controlled by any other entity rather than the United States, then that's where they will make the trade in that currency, and that should help make the dollar fall.
Which is
I mean,
why we went to
isn't
Venezuela before China and Russia could.
Yeah,
isn't that why they took Libya down? Because they were trying to create a gold-backed currency.
yes, they were
Mhm.
the Middle Eastern whatever. I forget.
Obama did that.
Yeah, yeah. I forget what their currency that they were going to trade in, but that's the reason they went after
Gaddafi.
Gaddafi and after
Saddam.
Saddam Hussein,
Yeah.
because they were
They were
like,
trying to
"We're
unite the African nations.
yeah, we're like we're good. We can handle our own. We don't need to be part of the International Monetary Fund. We're good. We don't have to be part of the World Bank. We don't need all that money from interest. We can self-sustain, and that's what they didn't like.
I
Yeah.
have a question for you guys with regards to the immigrants. What do you think the solution is?
kick them all out.
I hate you.
Ooh, that's rich coming from you.
Yeah, go home. Go home. This is my country now.
Wow.
Go
This
home.
They don't make it easy on purpose, right? There's no path to citizenship. Like Yaqub, our friend who was doing a lot of our social media stuff, who's in ICE detention right now on charges, he is actually a DACA recipient, works a like senior level corporate position, is educated, is here legally. But what they did was when they abducted him, they removed his DACA status. So now he's considered an undocumented.
hmm.
So that path to citizenship, they don't make easy on purpose.
Hmm.
I mean,
Why'd
people
they
have to
take
get
him?
married.
Why'd they take him?
They're claiming they took him because he was inciting violence
What was he doing?
on social media. He was basically saying that on social media that all indigenous people have the right to resist. So talking about, pro-Palestine and other issues
I mean,
on
was
his
he like,
social media.
is he like a big like influencer or something?
So
No,
how
I
did
don't know how many followers he has, but he's like a photojournalist. So that's not a day job, but he covers all of these protests and a lot of that.
I mean, how did he like even get under their watch?
I don't know. It's a good question. 9,000 followers.
Like, how did he get under their watch? Like how did they even find out?
Bro, I think it's all
Good
arbitrary.
question.
I'm surprised half of us haven't been picked up by them by now.
That's a good point. It's
Hmm.
honestly a good point. But what does it mean for us as healthcare workers? Like, how can we?
Oh,
I
we
don't
have
know.
the power. We just don't know how to use it yet, how to put it into power. But I
Yeah.
say the nurses have the power. Literally, if we get together and just walk together, we can shut this down. We would disable. Imagine if we went on a national strike, all of us.
Yeah.
Imagine.
We're one of the largest labor forces in the
It
country.
would everything up. It would mess everything up, not just the hospital system, but like everything around it, big business, big pharma, big whatever. Like every big institution would be shitting themselves.
Do you guys think we're at a turning point where maybe the average nurse will start to care more about their role in all of this
I think
after
Alex
having seen
Pretti's,
Alex dying?
yeah, with his execution, um, I think we might get a quarter of the force, sadly. Some
Yeah.
people are just either living under a rock and just are not paying attention to what's happening, and some are just too comfortable in their privilege. And until it really hits home, they probably will continue to not care, sadly.
Yeah.
So how do we get people to give a shit, right? I
Kind
don't
of
know.
back to
I guess
Shaz's
let
point.
ICE do what they're doing because they're doing a good job. ICE is doing a good job. So let them continue doing what they're doing until it affects.
Yeah, they're kind of marketing themselves right now.
Yeah.
Their
Yeah.
PR is not too good.
Man, I'm reading about Yaqub. Holy shit, dude.
Yeah.
They literally just
They removed his DACA status and then said he was
Where did they
undocumented.
take him from?
His house.
They took him from his house. He was leaving for work.
Seven ICE
They
cars
surrounded him.
surrounded him on
Yeah.
gunpoint.
And then
Ooh.
they moved him from the Bluebonnet facility in Texas, which was an hour away from here, to somewhere in Georgia now. So that's like one of their tactics, is they remove people from like their home communities and move them so far
Mhm.
away that you isolate them, essentially.
I remember
Well,
in the people that we know who have been detained in the Israeli torture camps, they would get moved around, but pretty frequently. Like every few months, they would move them
Yeah.
to prison, from prison to prison, just so that they wouldn't have mercy on them, so that they wouldn't, grow a heart for one of the
Right. So
detainees.
they wouldn't like sympathize or empathize with
Mhm.
them. Yeah. Yeah. Maybe the key is like connecting the dots for the average American, because what are our issues right now? Groceries are expensive. People can't afford rent, right? Like connecting that back to capitalism. The fact that all of these people are being round up, it's not about immigration, it's about for-profit prisons. And then we're sending how many billions of dollars to Israel? I mean, maybe I don't know. I've had some more success with that when talking to especially healthcare colleagues. Like, we don't have healthcare ourselves. I mean, we work in freaking hospitals, and some of our insurance is the shittiest insurance.
Yep.
Yeah.
I make 6 figures as a nurse in America, right? And I'm literally check to check, barely making ends meet. So my money management skills may not be the best. I get that. But
Don't
I'm
let them
not,
talk to you like that.
but that, no. But like for the past 2 years, I've been way more conservative with my spending ever since I bore witness to a genocide. I was like, okay, that reeled me in. And I was like, okay, all this flashy shit's unnecessary. So actually, I've been pretty good with my spending. And I'm still literally like check to check. Literally, like a quarter of my check is gone. Anyway,
Yeah.
I don't get a quarter of it because it goes to taxes
It's
and
going to
whatever.
Israel.
It goes to Israel.
Right.
Going to Israel. Point
Right.
blank.
I'm barely able to
Or
make
the Department of
it.
Defense. Oh no, sorry, the Department of War
Yeah.
is what it's going
Wait.
to.
How do you guys actually do that, by the way? I chose the Zelle. It's just more convenient for me.
yeah.
Israel? Yeah, I know.
I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I figured
We might as well. We might as well at this point.
I mean, that's a little
Ridiculous.
risky.
Family.
that's a little what?
Risky.
To Zelle to Israel?
No, it's not. Straight up, you'll probably get incentivized.
Right? They might actually let us go in.
I yeah. I'm thinking about how nice their highways were when
Yeah.
we left Gadam Shalom to go to Tel Aviv. Oh my God. I was like, this is better than anything we have in the States. The infrastructure, free healthcare,
Yeah.
wild. I
Paid, I
can't
think
wait for these people from Dubai and Qatar to come to Dallas and all these other cities that the World Cup is happening and see how ghetto we are. They're gonna laugh at us. Like
the World
all of our
Cup,
money is being
but they're
spent.
not coming. They're
They're
not
not coming. So what? 20,000 people canceled their tickets. I mean, like this is a valid point that somebody brought up. They're like,
No.
ICE is just rounding up any black and brown person. How do you know that they're not here on a tourist visa?
Yeah.
You're
Yeah.
just going to detain them and then find out later? Like, what does that say for all the people coming for the World Cup? Like, we should not be allowed to host this.
The way that this thing goes back to Palestine as well, it's just giving me, oh my God, I just wish every freaking American citizen would just go there and witness apartheid, because
Yeah.
we don't walk around with our IDs on us. We don't walk with passports, but guess what? Palestinians have had to do that for decades. My family members there, they walk around with passports on them 24/7. Like they've got a passport. They have to. You have to. And now I'm like, wow, look, this is coming back here now. Even tourists or whatever, they're gonna have to walk around with a passport on them. Like,
But they're not even giving people that time to take out their IDs. Like there was like 3 stories last week where they
yeah,
barged into people's homes and the guy was like, "Let me go get my ID. It's in my bedroom." And they detained him anyway. Or that one American citizen, the Somali American girl who spent like 24 hours in a detention facility. She didn't have her ID on her. She was trying to reach for it and they stopped her from reaching for it, threw her into detention. And then once they confirmed, also, they have so much advanced biometric data.
mhm.
How can they not look up in the system what your status is? Why is it taking so long? Why is it 2, 3 days later that people are being released? Oh, my bad, they were an American citizen. Like on one end, you have all this advanced technology. On another end, you can't even confirm. Like that doesn't make any sense to me.
I know, like at the Gaza Humanitarian Foundation site, they had the drones and like cameras and everything. Like they have everyone's biometrics. So I'm sure they can do that here and have that here.
They do, because there's videos of these ICE agents going up to people and like
Yeah,
taking a picture of their face and
that's
scanning
right.
them. And yeah,
That's right. I don't know. I just want to know like what a solution can be then for all these undocumented immigrants. Like what is I say let them in from the front door. We got a whole lot of land here,
And
especially in
work,
the Midwest.
and work,
Huh?
and work. Not just land. We also
And
have
work.
work.
Yeah, and they can contribute to society, pay
They already
taxes.
do.
Correct, correct. Pay taxes and whatever. And
They actually pay taxes, unlike the president of the United States.
ooh, facts.
or any of these billionaires.
Yeah. So I just wanted to share a really quick fact, right? So apparently they're expecting to sell 7 million tickets available for the 2026 FIFA.
Okay.
Only 2 million have been sold, leaving 4 to 5 million still remaining to be sold. And about 16 to 17,000 tickets have been canceled and or refunded.
Is that
Despite
for international sales
Yeah,
or just in
despite
general?
despite the fact that FIFA doesn't have a refund policy, they're like, well, we kind of get it. You guys don't want to go there and get picked up by it. You know what I'm saying?
Historically speaking, if you had those many tickets, like how fast would they sell?
That I don't know. Let me try that out. You guys keep talking.
Like, would you be able to sell 7 million tickets within a month? Or like, does it take a year or two to sell?
But yeah, if you see some of these comments online, people are like, "Don't come here. It's not safe." Like
I just don't understand the rationale. Like, what is the point of this?
chaos. I think they want people to quote unquote fight back so that Trump can evoke the Insurrection Act and have martial law. Like I think he wants to be an
The
authoritarian.
dictator that he's claiming to be.
Yeah.
He doesn't lie. That man never lies. He tells on
Can
himself
someone come
when
pick
he,
up our dictator?
right? Oh my God, I invite anybody. I'll give him the address.
So I looked up your request, Lana. I can't really find anything that says one way or the other how long it takes. But I will tell you guys one thing. I'm just thinking about this out loud. I started this conversation earlier about, hey, what do you guys think this world is going to, or what's going to happen? I was having a little online conversation with one of my former colleagues, and this guy, I don't know him that well, but I know he's a professional. He used to be an EMS, now he's a nurse, and we worked together and never had any issues. But from his comments, I can see that he's pretty much a Republican, right? Trumper at the very least. And I was telling him, I said, man, look, I don't care what you're talking about because he's basically saying anything that's happening right now in the Midwest, especially in Minnesota, is at the fault of the Democrats. And I'm like, bro, I'm not for the left, for the right. I'm not for the top or the bottom. This is all, I care about humanity. I don't care if it's Trump, Obama, or their mothers that is basically running this goddamn country. So me, I don't know about you guys, but I'm staying strapped. And I think that's the only way this is going to go because it's going to lead to anarchy. There was a study that came out recently by which university was that? The one they were talking about. They were looking at historical analysis and they said that we are in phase one of
Yeah.
civil
Mm,
war.
yeah, I saw
Yeah.
that.
Phase one Civil War. I saw that too. It was like
Wh-
a war scholar.
Yeah, but which university was that from? It
I
was
don't know if it
published.
was Harvard. I'll look it up.
It was one of the Ivy Leagues for sure. And yeah, it was like their historical department or whatever. But man, I'm telling you, let somebody come up to my house trying to barge in, they're getting a whole clip in their face.
Mhm.
You know, I'm telling you,
You loaded right? You loaded like that, bro?
all day, every day.
Damn.
That's
Look at
right.
his necklace.
Look,
I hate
bro,
that necklace.
what you talking about? What you talking about? Right here,
I hate
right
his
here,
necklace. I
all
get
day,
on him all the time about it. I hate it.
all day. Stay strapped.
He wore that to Capitol Hill, so I think
That's right.
I
That's right.
respect it.
Girl, yes, he did. And he wore it to where'd you wear it the other day?
Everywhere
Yeah, I was at work.
at work.
Literally at work. I was like, you do not wear a rifle necklace around. Well, I mean, I guess you're from Florida, so it makes sense, but you're in New Jersey right now. Like, yeah,
Yeah,
that's crazy.
I work in a very northern
Liberal
pseudo Tel
state.
Aviv hospital. right? And I wear my keffiyeh scrub cap to work every day. You
It
know,
was University of Pennsylvania.
University of UPenn, yeah.
Yeah. It says the United States is now officially in the first phase of Civil War.
What are the
Told,
stages? Like
told ya.
what stage two look like?
As soon as state law enforcement starts to attack federal law enforcement or vice versa, shit's gonna hit the fan.
Well, they're
I
already
don't know that
fighting.
they will, though.
No, they're in disagreement,
Oh, yeah.
Yeah,
right? But we're
In
talking
New
about
York.
like actually pulling out
I'm talking
guns
about
on each other.
violence.
Yeah.
Violence.
You know what I mean? Fighting each other, pulling out
Yeah,
guns on each other.
yeah.
Bro,
Yeah, there was a cop that, did you hear about the
terrible.
cop that was about to get, taken by them? And then she was like, I'm a cop. And then she got on the phone with like her boss. And then her boss, I guess, told them like, you better let her go or something like that. And they scurried away. But like,
I
it's
saw
crazy.
this morning in Maine that they tried to detain a corrections officer that was coming home from work. Did you guys see that video? He's screaming. He's like, I'm a county corrections officer. Let me go. What is this?
Yeah, yeah. But
They took him away
did you
though.
hear
They still took him
why?
away.
They took him
No, I
away.
didn't hear why. I saw it. Yeah, no, I didn't hear why.
So they took him away and they left his car running, windows down, everything, right? They took him away. Turns out he came on some work visa. Okay. But you get a background check and everything. And his captain or whoever that they were interviewing, they're like, bro, we did all of our due diligence. And he's legal here till 2029 or something like this. Right? And they had no reason to take him, but they took him because he allegedly came here on a work visa or something like this, and he's not a citizen.
So
They're
is
just
that like,
making up
are
rules.
visas a crime now? Yeah,
They're just
that's the
making
thing
up
that,
rules. No,
yeah,
no.
arbitrary.
Yeah, arbitrary. They're making up rules only because he doesn't fit their skin color.
Okay, so what does that say about the hospital? Because half of our nurses are Filipino or Indian and they're on work visas.
Yeah.
But but you know what though? They comply. They're quiet. They're not going to challenge the status quo, right? And
These people are like in the grocery store or like driving. Like these people are not doing anything. Not
You
you
know,
doing
half
anything.
the people that I know that got picked up by ICE were actually picked up when they were checking in for their immigration visit. So, what is compliance getting people? I mean, this facade that like politeness and silence and compliance is not going to get you targeted,
You know,
I think
yeah.
is fake.
You reminded me, my coworker just, I think like 3 weeks ago, he just got his citizenship and he's Latino and he was terrified. He was like, I was scared going there because I was like, they're
Yeah.
gonna pick me up right before I walk in. And he was terrified. And then my other Latina coworker, who is a citizen, her and her family were walking outdoors and whatever, and her dad was with her, and she was talking to the kids in Spanish, and her dad freaked out and was like, Shh, don't speak in Spanish outside. Like, you can't do that. Like, this is where we're at. This is America.
America.
I
America.
know. They're afraid to speak their language outside now. It's like crazy. So I was looking up the different stages. So stage one is the pressure cooker. So pretty much it says that it builds these conditions up: economic inequality, political exclusion, ethnic repression, corruption, police brutality, and impunity. So that's first phase. Second phase is where they
Check.
radicalize. Yeah, media becomes partisan or propagandized. They
Fox
dehumanize.
News.
This, I think we're way beyond, right? Moderate, yeah, moderates are attacked or silenced, and identity politics are hardened. And then the third stage is triggering event. So an election fraud, an assassination, hashtag Charlie Kirk, mass killing, state violence caught on camera. We're on third phase, I guess.
We're on stage 3, baby.
Right. And then the fourth says mass mobilization. So protest turns constant, counter protests emerge, and the militias form, the Gestapos, and security forces fracture. This is what's happening right now. So stage 5 is sporadic clashes, targeted killings, sabotage, bombings, kidnappings, paramilitary violence. Okay, so we're not there yet, but we're getting close. Do you see all the big Hummers, the National Guard, yeah, trucks in Minnesota?
Yeah.
So we're like, I think we're in stage 4.
I honestly
But
think
they're basically saying that the National Guard is just there to replace like Minnesota PD. is what they're saying. They're saying that they're just there to guard like the national buildings and the detention centers and replace them.
So does that mean like the ICE detention center is now under the control of the National Guard? That means that
Yeah.
congressional officials can actually go and visit and see what's going on and see what the screaming's all about?
Yeah, I
Mhm.
don't know. I don't know what
They are. Did you
these
see
like
the aerial
jurisdictions.
view of the protest within the detention center? There was an aerial view, right? And if you look, you could see National Guardsmen like standing
Yeah,
along.
but can they actually go? Can Elon Omar go inside finally now? Like she was stopped before, right? After this whole Renee Good thing
Mm.
happened, she was stopped. They said you can't go in. I mean, granted, she's now in DC raising money for her reelection and stuff, and she's worried about that. But that's right. But yeah, no, they could it be optics? Could it just be optics that she was there? She's like, look, I'm trying, you
So
know?
these mayors that are
Mm.
coming out on TV and saying, "Hey, ICE, come to my town and I will kick you out." Like, does that hold weight?
I wish they would try it in New York City. I want to see what Mamdani does.
So no, they're already there, dude.
Yeah, but I don't see any like any violence or any like.
No. So
No,
so
there's been videos of New Yorkers fighting them.
fighting who?
I
Oh yeah, well that's in New York.
There've been lots of videos of yeah.
Yeah. So my thing is, I know that, the way it works, the mayor controls the police, right? How does that apply when, these threats are stated and stuff? I don't know. It'd be interesting. It'd be interesting to see what these mayors that are talking all this like, hey, if you come over to my town, we're gonna take you out or something like this. I would love to see what happens.
No, I think nothing.
But you know
Yeah, I
what,
mean
though?
the Minneapolis mayor, nothing's happened.
Listen, this is what needs to happen, though, and I'm sorry to say this. In order to get to where we can actually feel safe, there needs to be bloodshed. There was, I forget who it was, but
Lie. He's autistic.
so there was someone that I forget who it was that basically said that every empire ends at 250 years.
Yeah,
Yeah.
And where are we right now?
almost there, right?
250 years.
Are we?
Damn. Yeah. 1776. Yeah,
Oh,
Okay. We're at 250 years. Our time is coming up,
oh.
it's up. Whew.
right?
We're on the fourth stage, apparently, of civil
Yeah.
war.
So I fear that there will be bloodshed, but I also feel that it's also necessary. There will
Hmm.
be innocent life lost, unfortunately, on both sides, but that's the only way the people
Yeah.
will take power back.
Mm.
You know what
Oh,
really screws with my head is that the how conveniently people forget that until 1845, Texas was a part of Mexico. Like we literally stole
Right.
this land from Mexico and now we're kicking out Mexicans. Like the cognitive
Yeah,
dissonance is
yeah.
crazy.
isn't that similar to what Donald Trump said about Greenland? He said, "Well, just because they landed a boat there 500 years ago doesn't mean it belongs to them."
Uh,
Plymouth Rock. Hello. Isn't that what we did?
The cognitive dissonance. There it is again.
Christopher Columbus. Oh
Yeah.
my. Oh my. I did not hear him say that. That's hilarious, but I wouldn't put it past him. Did you hear how he
Okay.
wants to rebuild insane asylums?
Yeah.
It's
Yeah.
hysterical
He
coming
needs
from
to
him.
be the first patient in there.
Literally the first admission.
Okay, so I have a hypothetical question. So if ICE shows up to your ER, your ICU, your OR, what do you do? If they
Hmm.
show up, the patient's not in custody. If they show up and they're like, we're here to detain or question XYZ patient, like what's the,
They're not here.
Who are you talking about?
Where's your warrant?
Who's your warrant?
No, I'd be like, they're not here. And I would hide that patient.
Yeah,
I like it.
yeah. No, F them, man. They want
Yeah,
to
I'd be
take
like,
me
I don't know who
patient.
you're talking about. And that patient, I'd be like, go
Yeah,
back there.
And I'd go in the med room and be like, oh, sorry, you're not allowed here.
Yeah.
yeah.
This is a
Lock.
protected area.
Yeah. And it's locked anyways, the med room.
Yeah.
Doesn't have a lock
Well,
pad.
yeah, and legally they're not allowed into any like staff only areas. So the med room, the break room, and then treatment rooms. If the patient's not in custody, they don't have a warrant, which they never do. That's
Well,
signed by a
apparently
judge.
they're going to do away with that. They won't even need it.
Yeah. I mean, the immunity is the other issue too, right? Like they can do whatever they want. We've seen
Mhm.
it twice already, and it's going to keep happening. When Renee Good got murdered, immediately. I was like, it's just a matter of time. And it wasn't what, 2 weeks later that
Yeah.
they executed another person. It's just going to keep happening
How
because they
long
have
do you think
immunity.
before the next? I say tomorrow.
Yeah, I say like another week, 2 weeks.
Because y'all forgot about Keith Porter. That's
Yeah,
also
that too.
happened after
Yeah.
Renee.
Yeah, good point. Yep.
I say
Yeah.
tomorrow, if not the day after.
Yeah. Because they have immunity. As soon as that man got on TV and said they have immunity, they have our full support, that's it. All bets are off.
Yeah.
They can do whatever they want.
And that's why I say some of them need to die. You know, I know it sounds terrible, man. It really does. Like I'm never one to support, you know, the killing or the whatever, the loss of life of anyone. But it's unfortunate. That's what's going to have to happen in order to get power back.
So, Shez, if you had the ICE agent come to your practice, the one who shot Renee Good, would you treat him?
Is he
The
gonna
fact
get
that he has to think
is
about
he
it.
is he gonna get the premium upgrade or what? I do premium cataract surgery, baby. I mean, if you upgrade with the multifocal lens, 10 grand. I mean, we'll talk about it. But if you got Medicare,
Dang. Everybody's got a price.
no, I'm just kidding. If it's a emergency, because I'm an elective, right? I'm elective medicine, so I it's different for me. But like if I'm on call and I'm in the ER and he came in with a globe injury or something like that, then yes, just ethically I would. If he came in for elective LASIK or cataract surgery, I'd be like, I'm sorry, I don't think I'm your doctor.
Yeah. I don't want to give you sharp vision to go look for
Well,
undiagnosed.
it's choice, right? It's a matter of choice, but it's like when do I have that choice in my line of work? Well, when it's elective. When I'm required to do something by
Right.
my profession and the oath that I took,
I mean, that's
then then
fair.
then I think your profession
100%.
trumps your own opinion, you know. But if I have a choice, then yeah, there's no question.
Yeah. I mean, I've taken care of a guy who decapitated his wife's head. I mean, like in an emergency situation, you do what you got to
Yeah.
do. And
Drunk drivers, rapists,
right,
all
And
of
right.
the
and
above.
honestly, like, you know, I don't know. I mean, even from a like what was it? What was this video I saw recently where remember the remember Jake Lang? Well, there was a Muslim person who was defending Jake Lang getting attacked by that mob.
Mm,
And somebody asked him, like, why are you defending him? He's like literally against you and your people. He said, well, as a Muslim, like we don't see that, you know? I mean,
Right.
we believe in the basic rights and dignity of all people. And
100%.
you know, so that like that was very like we need more Muslim representation of that sort, you know, instead of like everybody just thinking that we're terrorists or some horrible
but there
people.
is also room and conversation in that for justice and not turning the other cheek. We're not told to like just take,
Yeah,
any kind of oppression for no reason.
yeah. I mean, I think you make it known that it's oppression. You
Right.
you do something about it, and then but then there's also room for forgiveness, you know?
Yeah, for sure. There's nuance to it. Definitely.
Definitely. I obviously, so like I've said this before, I as a human being cannot bear to see anybody being tortured. Okay. The scum of the earth, the people that I hate the most evil men on this planet. If I was locked in a cage with them, right? And I was witnessing them being tortured right in front of me, I might be like, you deserve this for like 5, 10, 15 minutes. Who knows?
Right.
If it's
Yeah.
happening for like an hour, hours, I'd be like, enough. Let go, let God, like, stop. Like, I can't bear to watch that. And that's to like the enemy of my enemy, like my actual enemy. I couldn't bear to watch that. I wouldn't be okay with it.
Yeah, I mean, you have humanity.
Even if it was like the my child's murderer.
Mm.
I would be like, okay, 15 minutes of torture, sure. I might be like, yeah. get him. But then after that, I'd be like, okay, chill. Like, I'd rather they like kill him and be done with it than torture somebody. Like, I could never.
Oh wait, I have another question
Yeah.
about speaking of torture. What are they doing with all of these kids in these detention centers, man? Like that's the other thing. I'm like, this 5-year-old that what we're talking about, Liam, like what's happening with these children? And we know that they're losing so many children.
Mm-hmm.
This is not new. I mean, they've been doing this for years, right? Even on the border when they're separating families. I mean, how can anybody justify A, the separation of families, but B, like incarcerated children? But
Mm.
again, like you said, it all kind of goes back to that parallel of Palestine, right? Because we see children in Palestine being incarcerated all the time, and we've let it happen. So what does that say about us letting us happen here? I don't know. That's
Well, that
one thing, especially seeing that 5-year-old the other day, that it's stuck in my brain.
Zahid, I said if you were locked in a cage with somebody you absolutely hate, one of the worst evil men in the world, and you were witnessing somebody torture them or people torturing him, you guys are in a cell together, right? Would you be okay with that?
so for example, if I was in a cell
With Netanyahu?
with if I was in a cell with Netanyahu and I see people actually torturing him, would I be cool with it?
Yeah, why not?
You would be?
I would bring a hookah.
Oh yeah, I'll bring this shit right here. Light
Bro,
this up.
seriously. Are you
For
wait,
a
wait,
whole
wait,
for
You win.
hours
That's it.
watching that for hours?
hours till he takes his last breath.
Oof.
Till
Mm.
he wallahi.
Mm.
I
And
knew
you
it.
know
I
what?
told you.
Maybe that makes me less of a human being. Maybe that makes me a incompassionate
Sociopath.
sociopath. That's not it. I wasn't gonna say that.
That's dark.
No, but there's hate is such a strong word. Hate is such a strong word,
I
right?
hate him.
But I do hate him
Me too.
to the point where if he was being tortured, would I be okay with it? Yeah, I would. I
What would
would.
you what would it take for you to forgive him?
I would
Oh,
never forgive him, but I would be like, I just don't want let God
No, what would it
win.
take?
Like,
What would
I
it
don't want to
take?
watch that.
so okay, all
I'd
right.
rather you just
No,
execute
no,
Like,
me.
hold on,
what
hold
would it
on.
take from him?
That's what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying. So
Nothing.
Mm,
no, wait, hold on. That's a different question.
mm.
Yeah.
If homeboy, let's just say, man, let's just say Allah Ta'ala gives him the hidayah, right? The ability to actually see his mistakes and he repents, genuinely repents. And I believe him.
Would you forgive him?
You
Man,
have to.
I think I might.
God is the
You
most
have to.
forgiving.
I think I might.
You have to.
I'm not even gonna lie. I think I might. But again, there's a whole different story, right? Because now, let's say, for example, in the Middle East, if you're caught stealing, they chop off your hands. If you're caught doing whatever, they chop off your head, right? If the guy is genuinely apologetic, should he be forgiven and should he still be punished? Right? Because that's what you're saying. You're saying that if he's genuinely apologetic, then he should be forgiven,
Yeah.
right? Or actually, no, that's not true.
Is he
I think you're talking about-
apologetic in the moment just because of the fear of what's about to happen, or is it just a
I
revelation?
mean, that's really between him and him as creator, right? Like we don't know what's inside someone's heart when they say, "Listen, you're about to get your head chopped off." He's like, "Oh God, I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry. I'll never do it again." Is he saying in the moment, or does he really mean it? Right? So I'm trying to think to myself, if I really felt he meant it, and before his punishment was ever ordered, would I forgive him? Maybe I wouldn't torture him, but I'd probably still kill him. I ain't gonna lie. I'm not even gonna lie to you. I'm not even gonna lie to you. Because at the end of the day, if people if in Saudi Arabia you can be apologetic, you're not gonna get tortured, but you're gonna get punished. You know?
Abeerah, what's your what would you do?
I don't know. I don't know. Hard to say. I want to say I'd be like you, Lon. Like I wouldn't be able to. But I don't know. I don't know what I'd do in that moment. I mean, yeah, ultimately, like Zahid is saying, that if Allah affords that repentance to somebody who truly repents and comes back, then that's something different. But I don't know. And I don't know that we're the best judge of it because even though we witnessed those crimes against humanity, we didn't have to necessarily suffer the crimes against humanity, right? So like maybe a Palestinian would tell you something different.
I bet you Palestinians would forgive him.
100% they would.
Yeah, you're right.
100% they would, because they are people of
Yeah,
faith.
yeah, no
And
question.
God is the most merciful and forgiving, and they live by that oath. So they,
Yeah.
that's the difference between us and
Yeah, it is. No, for real, it is.
Well,
It's true.
or they
because I'm
inspire
petty,
you.
right?
They
But
inspire you, right? Like I would forgive them because I know that they would. I mean, if they
Yeah,
would,
no, it
then
is inspirational because
who am I to be like? Because I didn't even go through it, right?
yeah, they all inspire us to be better. No doubt. No doubt.
and a lot of them are even okay with a two-state solution. They're like, just draw a line down the middle. Just leave us alone. You stay where you are, and we'll stay where we are. Just leave us alone. You know what I mean? Like
I think you touched on it earlier, Lana, but that's like always my push of like, go see for yourself. Go
right.
see the apartheid. Go see what's happening. Sure, you can't go to Gaza, but nothing's stopping Americans from going to Israel, right? Go see what's going on and draw the parallel yourself.
Not for a week. You literally have to be there, and you actually have to stay with a Palestinian family so that you can see,
Yeah.
not as a tourist, you know what I mean?
No, yeah.
But the way they have to live, like the way they got to move, the way they've got checkpoints,
Right.
the way they've got to carry a passport on them all the time, the way the settlers can just wreak havoc and they just
Arbitrarily come
take it.
inside your neighborhood and with the IDF and force you guys out.
Yep.
Yeah.
And then they charge you to demolish your home. You've got to pay to demolish your own home. It's crazy.
Wild.
It's crazy. So like they need to bear witness to that. And then they'll be like, oh, I see what's happening here now. Like I see this trickle effect. It's tiptoeing in to the
Yep.
states. Let's hear.
The Imperial Boomerang.
Yep, it's here.
All right, guys. Good talk. I gotta go.
Yeah.
Um,
Hold on. What was that? Oh, chingala amiga.
Mine too. Mine's floral.
Chingala migra. What does that mean?
Immigration.
Oh,
Yeah.
shit. Damn. All right.
Where are you
All
in
right.
Texas?
boys
You don't
and
know what
girls.
Chingalemmigra means?
All right, guys. Thank you guys so much for joining the great podcast. Thank you, Abeerah, for joining us. And like, subscribe, follow, and make sure you guys leave a comment. Peace.
And remember,
Thank
chingala
you.
migra.
Chingala migra.
All
All
right,
right, guys.
Thank you guys so much. All right.
Take
I'll see you guys
care.
later.
Take care, guys.
Bye.